whatever they choose is going to be what is going to light up the world and what is going to change the world. When we're being us, when you're being you, that's how the world is changed. The world is not changed by trying to fit in. The world is not changed by you following some prescription of what you think you have to be. The world is changed by you being you. And here's the deal. As I went through my career as an actor, I got so far away from that seed level intention of what was really important to me. And that energy of inspiring people to follow their dreams, I knew was also going to be what was going to create the most healing for people. It was going to be the thing that gave people the opportunity to say, wow, you know what? I can live my life without stress, without worry, without anxiety, without fear, because I don't have to focus on the things that are not me. When I'm focusing on my value and my beauty, wow, what an amazing opportunity that I can also see my health completely restored. And so this is why I started to get into healing. Okay. Now, a little sidebar, a big sidebar, you know, what? A huge sidebar for me was the space of recognizing and learning that I was I had a lot of gifts. I had gifts as a child that I was afraid of. And a lot of those gifts were my abilities to communicate with higher beings, with my guides, my angels, and my masters. And at a very early age, I started meditating. I was watching Oprah with my mom one day. I was like 10 years old. And Shirley MacLaine was on Oprah. And when Shirley MacLaine was on Oprah, she was talking about, you guys have to realize this is like 1986. Shirley MacLaine was talking about past lives. And she was talking about energy, and she was talking about chakras, and she was talking about meditation. And everybody in the audience was like, woo, this woman is crazy. I sat glued to the television and I said, this is what I also know to be true. And from that moment, I used to hide off in my room and meditate and learn about the chakra systems and energy and all of that. So I had all of my drive on one side of being an actor, and then I had all of this other stuff, this deep desire to learn and to know about the spiritual world, to know about metaphysics, to know about the possibilities that existed that were outside of this universe, the questions that I had. So I would learn about tarot. I would learn about reincarnation. I would learn about alternative healing. I would learn about astrology. From a very early age, I built that repertoire of things that were available, that I could, anything I could get my hands on. I used to go to the bookstore at the mall, and I would run to the New Age section and soak up all of the books that I could possibly read. One time I even stole one of the books on astral projection from the bookstore because I wanted it so bad, and I didn't have the money myself to buy it, and I could not tell my mother that I wanted a book on astral projection. So I actually slipped the book into my pants. I got home, I read the book cover to cover, and the next time my mom took me to the mall, I actually took the book and I returned it because I was so afraid of the karma. And so, but I needed that knowledge, I needed that information. And so while I was having this weird, this really cool juxtaposition between the entertainment world of, you know, working around celebrities, doing these really cool things, I would also have my life that was nobody knew about. My life where I was talking to my imaginary friends, as everybody talks about, when I was meditating and going deep and talking to the creator in the universe. And fast forward to about 10 years ago, I've studied so many different spiritual paths. I've studied Buddhism, I've studied Taoism, I've studied the Gnostics, I've studied so many of these ancient traditions. I studied Kabbalah for 20 years. So mysticism and mystics, I just really soaked up it all. And it really wasn't until about 10 years ago that I would always go see psychics, and they'd always tell me, you're a healer. You're a healer. You're a healer. And I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to be bothered by it. I was like, no, I'm a Broadway star. Leave me alone. I don't want to be a healer. And they would always tell me, it doesn't matter if I went to a psychic in California or if I went to one in Mexico, they would always say, you know, you're a healer. And it wasn't until about 10 years ago, my Kabbalah teacher actually said to me, you know, you're a healer. And I said, you know what? I've been told this before, and I want to choose something that's going to actually allow me to see if that's true. And so she introduced me to the modality of theta healing, and it changed my life. It changed my life in such a way that I finished the course. I finished the courses and I was like, okay, creator, if you want me to do something with this, then you're going to have to bring people into my life. They're going to have to show me that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. One by one, those people started to show up. And those people told other people and told other people and told other people. And guys, before I knew it, I didn't have time to audition. I didn't have time to work in film or television. I was literally practicing my healing abilities on anyone and everyone who was willing to show up and pay for them. And so that path really brought me to other exciting, fun things. And one of them, which I'm sure all of you are familiar with, is Access Consciousness. Okay? Access Consciousness is a set of tools that was downloaded by Gary Douglas in the early 90s. And he started to channel these energies and started to gather in all of these amazing tools. Anyway, as he started to spread them, he met Dr. Dane here. And Dr. Dane he was a chiropractor by trade. And Dr. Dane actually came along for the ride, and he was like, holy crap. Holy shit, these tools changed my life. Dane says they actually saved him from suicide. And so Dane then decided to dedicate his life to sharing these tools with Gary and sharing them with the world, to exploring these. So in the early 90s, Access Consciousness started to really become a thing. And during that time, all of these tools, they've gone on to share with everyone. You guys may have heard of the Access Bars. The Access Bars is an incredibly powerful modality that gives you the opportunity to receive a simple touch in different points on the brain. And when touched ever so lightly, it's like all these wires in the brain kind of go, ah, wow, I can have clarity now. So Access Bars is a hands-on modality, and Access Consciousness has over 350 body processes that go along with the bars, right? Anyway, so my process my path with Access Consciousness really kind of changed when I took the foundation course. And when I took the foundation course, I was blown away by how quickly and how immediately my life changed. And in that moment, I realized, wow, you know what? There's something really here that is quick, that is easy, that is powerful. And I said, I want to do this. I want to teach this class to people. That class, I didn't care about anything else. So since then, that was 4 years ago now, I became an Access Consciousness certified facilitator. I've been teaching classes all over the world for Access Consciousness, and it's opened up an incredible life for me. And what I mean is it's solidified what I know to be true, that we're creating our life. We're creating our existence. Nobody else is doing it for you. So when you hear all these things about, your thoughts become things, what you think about manifests, I've got news for you. There is a whole body of beliefs and programs that are held within your subconscious mind and in the cells of your body that you're not aware of. So if you keep asking for a bunch of abundance and a bunch of wealth and a bunch of money, but you've got these subconscious broken programs that if you do have all of that wealth and abundance, that somebody's going to come after you and kill you, or that your mother is going to sabotage you from the upper worlds, or that you're going to have to give it away to everybody, then the subconscious mind is so powerful that it actually stops you from manifesting that which you're asking for. So you can consciously be asking, hey, you know what? I want all of this. But if you've got subconscious programs that are not allowing that, then it will never happen. And one of the greatest tools in Access Consciousness, it changed my life, that I use every single moment, sometimes every second of the day, is the tool of asking questions. If you really, really want to know how to change your reality, we often think of manifesting as imagining everything we want and seeing it on the billboard. And we go, oh, wow, this is, I can see it. But what if you actually invited that energy to come in by asking questions? Well, what would it be like if I had more money than God? Fuck yeah, that feels great, right? What would it smell like? What would it taste like? What could I experience if I was truly happy all the time? What? Happy all the time? How is that even possible? How is that possible? Universe, what would it take to create that lightness for me that would allow me to be in a complete vibration with that energy? And then all of a sudden it becomes that beautiful gift that we call engagement. Engagement is when you're not just an observer of your reality, but you're fucking creating your reality, guys. You're not sitting on the sideline like you're watching a soccer game. You're in it, you're on the field, and you're creating it. Because engagement is saying, hey, would you like to come play with me? Would you like to have fun with me? Would you like to change this world together? And so for me, I practice these tools every day, gazillions of times a day. And the reason that I do that is because I know that it works. So I'm not coming here just kind of telling you guys, hey, it would be a great idea if you took these courses because they're really, really good for you. I'm coming here today because I want to be a billboard for you to know that anything and everything that you want is truly, truly possible if you get out of your own way and you stop making excuses for what's wrong, for how much money you don't have, for how sick you are, how fat you are, how ugly you are. All those excuses that you've bought as true, which are all bullshit. And if you allowed yourself to come to center and say, wow, I acknowledge, oh my God, my curves make me really sexy. Or wow, you know what? I am such an exotic being. I wonder who wants to come play with me. I wonder who likes really exotic beings. I wonder who would like to contribute to my life. So when we overcome those things that we think we have to correct, and instead, meaning overcome, by the way, what I'm saying is by overcome, I'm saying instead be an invitation for greater. So it's not about overcoming something as this old 3D program has told us. This old 3D program is saying you need to go and you need to work on yourself, right? That's not what we're saying. We're saying instead say, hey, you know what? What if I was beautiful? What if I could see myself as beautiful? How much would that create in my life? What if I could see myself as rich and famous and powerful? How can that contribute to my life? So being an invitation is that easy, joyous, glorious way of looking at all those things that you think are wrong about you and asking the universe to show you what could be a contribution. So what I'd like for each of us to think about tonight is I'd like for us to think about and to tap into how we see ourselves. How do you see yourself? How do you see your life? And I'd like for you to make a commitment today. What are some of those things that you would like to change and transform about yourself? The things that you'd like to change and transform in your lives. And I want every single one of us to just take a second and make a note of that right now. What is it? If I could change one thing today, tonight, what is that one thing that I would change? And look at how you're writing it. Most likely, you're writing it and you're inscribing it in blood. And you're writing it and inscribing it in blood in a way that makes it so committed to it showing up exactly like that. So if you're writing, I want to change being broke, then the universe is only going to hear, I am broke. So instead, I want you to revisit that thing that you'd wish to change and instead say, what will it take to be the most powerful, potent, rich bitch on the planet? and allow that energy to contribute to you. So take what you're looking at and take what you're making a note of and ask how you can change it and transform it into something that is a question. That's all you have to do. What would it take for me to see my power, my potential, my light, my magic, my beauty? Allow that to come in. Bring that in. Kindness is the most beautiful virtue that we have in the planet. Kindness is the gift. Kindness is actually the new currency. If you can become wealthy in your kindness, both of yourself and to others, you will actually see all the money that you could ever imagine manifested from you in front of your eyes. Let's do it. Let's go after it, because here's the deal. You know, a lot of times people go, oh my God, it's so selfish, Daniel. What you're talking about is so selfish. I'm a spiritual person. I can't be selfish. And what I would like for you to think about is, if you cannot put your oxygen mask on first, you cannot help anybody else. You will run out of energy. You will run out of space. You will run out of oxygen. You've got to put your oxygen mask on first. And if you put your oxygen mask on first and you say, you know what? I love my life. I'm so grateful for my life. How can my life get even better than this? What else is possible? Now, imagine that becomes the new virus that spreads all over the world. The virus of kindness, in which we're infecting each other with this magic of happiness, this magic of joy, this magic of experience. That's true kindness, guys. And what would it take for us to channel that energy and be that energy? And to know that, hey, it's all available to us.